Hi everyone, today we are going to discuss about PHP arrays and different types of PHP arrays that we can found in PHP programming language. In PHP, namely we have three different types of arrays called indexed arrays, multi-dimensional arrays and associative arrays. So when it comes to first type, we are calling it as an indexed arrays. That means actually array is a collection of elements, and each and every element in an indexed arrays is indexed or subscripted by a numerical value. That means we can also say indexed arrays as a numeric arrays because each and every element is indexed by a numeric subscripts. So in order to create an empty indexed array, we can use the function called array without any arguments. Here we have created array called A without any arguments. So we can also create an array with a number of arguments. As an example, consider here we have created an array called cars with the three different string values. So as I say previously, each and every individual value is referred by a numeric subscripts. Here first value is indicated by a numeric subscript 0. By default in arrays, the first element by default represented with the numeric subscript value 0 and second element is represented by the numeric subscript value 1. So there is no need to mention these subscript values. By default these subscript values will be automatically applied. So here in this program we will have an output like I like Volvo, BMW and Toyota, because here we are referring each and every individual value of an indexed array using the index values like 0, 1, 2. So there is another way of accessing values in an indexed array. For example, we can use some for loop or while loop to iterate over the list of elements present in array. For example, we are taking an array called cars with these similar elements which you have seen before. In order to access all the elements in an array, first we have to count the number of elements present in an array. So for the sake of counting number of elements present in an array, in PHP we have a method called count. So count of cars means we are counting the number of elements present in an indexed array, and the count which is written by the count method is placed in an variable called array length, and this array length contains the value that is equal to number of elements in an array called cars. We are using this array length as a condition, and we are starting with a loop index variable x is equal to 0 because by default the first element in an array has a numerical subscript 0. That's why we are starting with x is equal to 0, and starting with x is equal to 0, this loop will iterate up to the last element. That means the last element has a numeric subscript value that is equal to array length. So the next second category of PHP arrays is an associative arrays. Associative arrays are similar to normal indexed arrays, but in indexed arrays each and every element is indexed by a numerical subscript, but in associative arrays each and every individual element is indexed by a key value. That means associative array is a collection of elements where each and every element is represented by two fields. The first field is called key and second field is called value, its corresponding value. Each and every value in an associative array has its corresponding key. If you want to access the value, definitely we have to provide its corresponding key. For example, here we have created a associative array called ages that contains three elements. That three elements are 22, 32 and 28. In order to refer these three elements, we have created three different keys, Peter, Clark and John. If you want to refer any one of these values, you have to use any one of these keys. Let's see another example. We have created the array ages, and if you want to refer 22, we have to mention it as a ages of Peter because the corresponding key value of 22 is Peter. So if it is not available with you, there is no way to access the value 22. Compulsory we need key value of that particular value. So in similar manner we can also iterate to the list of associative array elements. So instead of using while loop, for loop, or any other traditional looping statements, in PHP we have a special loop called Foreach Loop, and Foreach Loop iterates for each and every value which you have created for the given array. For example, in this array we have 3 elements, that means Foreach Loop iterates for 3 iterations because we have 3 elements, and while iterating for each and every element, at present we are using an associative array. Associative array has 2 parts. For the key value we are representing x, and for representing the actual value we are using x underscore value. So the first element will be retrieved in the first iteration, and in this element the Peter key is assigned to x, and the Peter corresponding age 35 is assigned to x underscore value. Similarly, in second iteration, Ben is a key which is assigned to x, and Ben's age 37 is assigned to value, and we are printing these values in each and every iteration. So third category is multi-dimensional arrays. Multi-dimensional arrays is also a collection of elements, but these elements are typically another arrays. That means multi-dimensional arrays are nothing but arrays of arrays. If you see this example, we have created a multi-dimensional array called contacts, and this contacts array contains 3 fields, 3 elements, and each and every element is an individual array. If you observe these individual arrays, you can find 2 different elements which are similar to associative array elements. That means we have created a 2-dimensional array that is an array of associative arrays. So if you want to refer any one of these arrays, we have to use numeric subscripts. If you want to refer any one of these arrays individual values, we have to use key values. For the sake of accessing array values, we have to use zeros, ones, twos, that means in numeric subscript values. For the sake of accessing individual array values which are present in the contacts array, we have to use their corresponding key value. For example, if I want to access the name of an first array, we have to mention it as a context 0 of name. Similarly, we are getting the email ID of a person called Peter Parker. Actually, he is a part of first array. In order to access the first array, we have to mention the numerical subscript 0, and in that first array we are accessing the field that has a key value email, and we are simply printing its corresponding value called Peter Parker @mail.com. Thank you.